Hey, I'm going to go through the cards for our stamp camp class. And for anyone that's actually watching this, because it's going to be on YouTube, I do a stamp camp. I try to do it every month, but I do different cards and I prepare packages. And everyone gets a little package for each card to make. So I'm going over this so it's the benefit of those that are getting these cards on how to assemble them, but it's a great way to get some ideas on some cards as well. So I have 5 cards and I'm going to go in the order of the worksheets. This was with Ladybug and Friends, and it used the Hello Ladybug stamp set along with the Ladybug Builder Punch, and so I'll just quickly go over the cards. The first one I called It's a Good Day card just because that's the sentiment that I used, and it is using black cardstock, and I'm just going to categorize it as yellow and green. I used some retired colors. It was a bumblebee pineapple punch color, and then the Call Me Clover was the green. So I did half and half of the face, as you can tell, and so you're going to put the yellow on the one side, the green on the other. You're going to build your ladybugs. You're going to put the black body, and then with dimensions you're going to put the wings on top. And I've already stamped. This was with the stamp spots from the stamp set, but if you just got the builder punch and didn't get the stamp set, you can easily do the spots by using marker or using a paper punch and you taking the circles from that and gluing them on. It's just a little bit more time consuming when you have to glue on all the spots. It's a Good Day was the sentiment I used. I have these framelits called Bitty Banners. It's fairly old, but it worked for what I needed, and I die cutted out the sentiment. So there's that, and of course black. So your inside, you're going to want to cut a white piece of cardstock to fit on the inside so you can write in your card. Okay, so the second one I'm going to show you is the Hello My Friend, and this one is I made a bumblebee out of the Ladybug Punch. And so that one you're going to get in your pack all of the pieces, and some of you will get a striped white with the stripes like I have here and here, or some people will get something different, maybe this one that's more of a circle. You basically want solid white and then a simple black stripe or design of something. And the base is black. So what you're doing is you're taking a full sheet of cardstock, you're going to cut it into 4 pieces, and this is just one piece because you're not folding the black into the card, because the yellow, which I did use the Daffodil Delight, the yellow cardstock is actually being folded and put on top like a card. So that is your card, as you can see. On top you're using hexagon punches. I made 2 yellows, and then the other 2 dark black with spots is for the other 2 sides. I made it look like a honeycomb, so you need to just assemble it to look like a honeycomb. It's going the yellow, or the Daffodil Delight, is getting put on flat to the black, and then the hexagon squares are getting flat to the base, and then of course your Designer Series paper is flat to the Daffodil Delight as well. Then I used plain black cardstock for this hexagon, and I used the Whisper White for the to stamp on my Hello My Friend. Let me see if I can get it closer. Okay, so what you're doing with that, if you do end up getting the stamp set, is you're taking the words my friend and you're taking the word hello and you're putting them together because it's photopolymer. you're putting them together onto one stamping block and then fitting them over your space of your hexagon and stamping it that way. Your bumblebee is your black body, and then you're getting you're putting on over the top of it, you're gonna use adhesive or glue and put on the yellow and black body of that. What I used, just to show you my give you my little cheat sheet, is I used black and white designer series paper. You know, if you have plenty of paper, you probably do have some that's black and white. Then I took a brush and I brushed yellow. I used the Daffodil Delight, and I got the ink on the brush, and then I rubbed it over the designer series paper. And then what you do is you punch out, you basically just need the circle part. As you can tell, I don't have the antennae or anything on that. So you're just getting this circle part, and then you may have to trim it down a bit, and then you're just going to overlap and glue to the solid black body. Okay? Then you're getting vellum wings. So you can do it a couple different ways. If you use adhesive dots, if you use one on each side, sometimes they show through. There is adhesive that is for vellum, but that doesn't always, you can sometimes always see that. You can take a single dot and put it in the middle of your wing underneath, and then you would get something like a gem or a sequin, and then use another glue dot on top to adhere that. So that's how you can kind of cover up your little visual through the vellum. With this, as you can tell, it moves. And so I have, it's not quite as oh, there it is. I have put on them these springs. So you're going to get a spring in your bag with your cards, and there's adhesive on both sides. It doesn't matter whether you have the solid side or you have the ring side. See, there's rings and the other side is solid, some of it's solid. Which one you put on the bottom of your bee and the surface of your card. What I do advise is do not pull the spring, because what you're going to have is whatever object you have on that spring is going to be way up high the more you pull it, because once you pull that spring, because it's plastic, it doesn't really go back down. So keep it as flat as you can. Put your adhesive on both sides and put it on the surface where you want it, and then it's good to go, because the more they fiddle with that, the more it's going to kind of keep going up. So that's that one I did. You don't have to, because it's yellow. You could still write on yellow, but I did put white on the inside of that. The dimensions were all in the worksheets. So now we're going to go to the third card, which is a little more involved in assembly. You're going to have, it's a Z-fold card, so you're going to have Melon Mambo is going to be the main color, and as you can tell, it's Z-fold. So I have it scored half and half in the middle and then half on one of the sides. So you fold it, and then you're going to want to take your bone folder and kind of press it down really good so you can get it a little bit more flush. You're going to assemble the black biggest piece. I would do this, put this part, I would do this separate and then attach it to the Z-fold part of your Melon Mambo. I would do that after you have everything else on top here put together. So you would get your black, then you would take your white piece, then you're also going to get with it, it's a fairly large die cut. And as you can see, the die cut is bigger than your white. So you're going to use glue dots or glue, and you're going to put it down and place it where you want it, and then you're going to trim the edges that are overhang. But just want to let you know, when you do that, you want to leave the middle leaves here a little open, so that way you can tuck. Gave you 4 flowers. You can tuck the flowers underneath. The flowers you're going to put on dimensions, so you're going to need a little bit of space. So I used glue dots, and then I used the mini glue dots, so I put it around the edge and left the middle pieces without any glue dots, so I could tuck my flowers where I wanted. So once you've got that done, then you want to tuck your flowers in. You do have, I would use your mini dimensions underneath. I gave you each 3 gems to put for centers. So have one of your flowers totally tucked where you don't see the middle. The other 3 you can have more exposed because you're going to have your centers filled with a gem. And you are most likely going to use your adhesive in the middle of your flower, and so there's a circle there, and that's why I gave you the gem to cover up the adhesive that's going to be exposed from the dimensional. Now again, this is another one where you're going to have the spring to put underneath your ladybug. So you put your ladybug wherever, and then you have your saying, which is "You can bug me anytime," which is also in the stamp set. Now once you've done that, then you are going to want to place this on your outer fold. Now remember, the outer fold does not cover the entire black, so you only need to put adhesive on the part of the black that's going to go on the Mullen Mambo part. Now this other side is going to be, I did this white piece. I actually did cut them a little smaller than my original so you could fit them in. So I do have a green leaf you're going to put on the corner. Then when you put your card inside, you want to close your front. So when you put your white piece inside, lay it real loose so you don't have the adhesive sticking quite yet. And when you go like close it, then you can align your white piece, underneath the black so it does not show when you have your card closed. And when you have it open, when you do this, then this is what they will see. And then whatever note you write there, which is actually quite cute. So that is that Z-fold card. And everything is in your packet, all your supplies. The 4th card I made, I really got carried away here with a bunch of cards, just so you get a variety of different things you can make. This one is a June bug. So with the June bug, no different than putting together a ladybug. You don't have to put spots on the wings. And what I did is you're going to do a full wing, obviously, but for the butt, you will take a wing and snip it in half. What I did to make it look more like it's lighting up is I took a piece of vellum, punched it with punched a wing out, cut that in half, put it on top of my other half, and you slide it just a little bit so the vellum is just a little bit further down than the main piece. You're going to adhere them both with glue dots, and then you're going to glue dot it on the bottom of your June bug. Your June bugs, you will want to use your dimensions and put them underneath your June bug, and that'll go on the surface. Then you have the saying, "You light up my life," kind of goes with the June bug theme. And then ribbon, I made about 3 inches to go underneath this. And this color was a retired color too, Seaside Spray. And so I actually had ribbon that matched it, so it coordinated. The cover of the card, I did use embossing powder, and so when you emboss something, sometimes it gets a little ripply. What I did is I gave card pieces to put inside, so that way you can put it on the inside of the cover. Then it solidifies it, and it kind of takes those ripples away. And I had a stamp set that had little lights, so I put them inside as well, so that was cute. That was using that pineapple punch, that yellow, but use whatever yellow you want, or actually use whatever color you want, and the June bug idea is really cute. My last card is called my mystery card, and you all are going to get a bag with just a whole bunch of supplies, right? So you're going to take and make whatever. You have enough to make a ladybug and enough to make a bumblebee. And any of you that got the punch, you could make a June bug if you want. So the colors I used were that pineapple punch again, and I found this cardstock, or designer series paper, that had a blend of colors that some of you will have flowers like this. Those are flowers, and some of you will have maybe this pattern. There. It's using the same colors, just doing a different pattern. They both look really cute. I have a punch that's the flower petal. So you have 3 different flower colors you can choose. This one, I put my sentiment on the bottom, put the sentiment wherever you want. My flower, I put dimensionals and put the flower on top. I did cut out some die cut leaves and just tuck them underneath. I gave you sequins to put in the middle, and I used 3 sequins to kind of make it look like at the middle of a flower. You can take your bone folder or even your finger and kind of curl up the petals if you want. Sometimes when you try to put it in an envelope, you don't want to get it curled up too high. Then with whatever you pick for your either ladybug or bumblebee, you can place it wherever. I did give you all a heart because in the sentiment it says thinking of you with all my heart, so I did die cut some hearts out for everybody. I put my bumblebee on another flower and then put some leaves underneath it. So that's how I did this card. But you all have a bag of supplies, a bunch of leaves, your bugs, your flowers, and you can assemble them any way you want. So that is the quick version of how we're going to assemble these cards. If anybody is watching this that doesn't go to my stamp camp, if you're ever interested in doing stamp camp, let me know. I not a whole 100% how the like and subscribe all works, but you can like and subscribe, so any other videos that I put out, you will also get those as well. I will have somewhere in my description how to contact me, but I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and my name is Sherri Borger, Sherri, B as in boy, Orger. And you can definitely go and look me up at stampinup.com, and I am there as well. I will start putting a little bit more out there as to different products if you're ever interested in it, but for now this is just showing everyone how to assemble the cards.